Have you ever wondered why some people seem to reach richness easily, while others are stagnant, regardless of the effort they put? The answer may be simpler than you think. There is something you need to do if you really want to change the course of your financial life. And no, it's not a magic formula or a quick tip. It is a profound change, an adjustment on how you see money, success, and especially your own mindset. If you keep doing the same things as usual, expecting different results, the reality is that wealth will never come to you. The good news? There is a clear way to those who are willing to take action and do what others are not willing to do. Those who are ready to act and transform will have a chance to achieve everything they have always dreamed of: wealth, financial freedom, and lasting success. Now, are you prepared for this change? Are you ready to find out what, in fact, separates the rich from the poor, and how can you start being part of the select group of those who turn their lives for real lives? Continue with me and see what you need to do so as not to leave the opportunity to be rich to pass before your eyes. Many people believe that money favors some and ignores others, as if it had its own personality. But the truth is that he does not care about his color, religion, or origin. It simply responds to a set of universal rules, and those who understand these rules are easier to attract wealth. If you keep thinking that money is a matter of luck or destination, you will always be hostage to circumstances rather than creating your own financial reality. Think of money as gravity. If you jump from a building, it will fall. It doesn't matter if it's a good person or not. The same is true of the laws of wealth. Who learns to manage, invest, and multiply, thrive. Who ignores this, loses. Simple as that. And do you know what is even crazy? Most people spend their entire lives complaining about the lack of money, but never studies about it. Have you ever seen anyone get rich without understanding how the game works? Now, if money does not discriminate, why do some accumulate fortunes while others live in the squeeze? The answer lies in knowledge and action. Those who seek to understand how money behaves and acts according to these rules, naturally attracts more prosperity. Already those who live ignoring these principles or spending without planning, is trapped in an infinite cycle of scarcity. The question is not whether you deserve or not being rich, but if you are willing to learn and apply what really works. So the question you should ask yourself is not why doesn't money come to me? But what rich people know I don't know yet. Because, in the end, money is impersonal, but the choices you make about it determine your financial destiny. And that leads us to an even more crucial factor: the mindset behind wealth. Have you noticed that people who reach great financial achievements think in a completely different way from most? While many are focused on difficulties and limitations, the rich always seek solutions and opportunities. This mindset is what makes the difference. The truth is that you will not reach the top with only good intentions or effort. You need a prosperous mindset, a vision that makes you see beyond the obvious and act with courage and consistency. Often people have a desire to enrich, but they do not have the proper mindset. They get stuck with limiting thoughts, such as "I'm not good enough" or "this is not for people like me." What the rich know, and you need to understand, is that success does not depend on how much you know, but how you think. They visualize the future positively, surround people who add and are not afraid of making mistakes. The mentality of scarcity makes you see obstacles. The mentality of abundance sees opportunities around every corner. A classic example of this is the great stories of entrepreneurs who started from scratch without resources, but with a winning mindset. They took calculated risks, learned from errors, and did not stop until success. And no, it's not magic, it's a mindset. Growth mindset leads to action, and action generates results. This is what separates those who get wealth from those who get stagnant. Therefore, the question that remains is, what have you been doing to change your mindset? What have you read, what have you heard, who has been related to? If you keep cultivating a missing mindset, you will continue to attract foul. But if you adopt a mindset of abundance, the doors open, and opportunities begin to appear. Now the next question is how you will turn this thought into action. Have you noticed how many people spend all the time planning, but never actually act? Planning is critical, but without action, it is just a lot of ideas on paper. The truth is that success does not come from infinitely analyzing plans, but of putting them into practice. The more you wait for the perfect conditions, the more you will move away from your goal. The world does not wait for its perfection, he awaits his action. It is normal to feel that urge to want to plan everything to the least detail before acting. But in practice, successful people are those who make quick decisions and correct the course as they advance. If you have to wait for the perfect time to act, you will wait for a lifetime. And do you know what happens? Time goes by, and you will never leave the place. Don't wait for the ideal scenario, because it will never arrive. And here comes a big secret of the winners: they do. Simple as that. They are not waiting for all the variables to align, they start and adjust whatever it takes halfway. A good example of this is entrepreneurs who start with a small project, but with a great view, and over time adjust their actions according to demand and opportunities. Success is not linear, it is made of attempts and errors, but the important thing is to be moving, because the action is what creates results. Remember that the biggest mistake you can make is not try. Action is the bridge between your dream and your reality. And once you start acting, the universe begins to align. Now the question that remains is, will you keep planning without acting, or will it take the first step towards your wealth? Because success does not come from being in theory, but from going to practice. Many people believe that luck is the key to financial success, but the reality is quite different. Luck may even give a little help from time to time, but true financial success comes from continuous effort, study and consistency. Those who expect luck to beat the door will be frustrated, because luck is never reliable. Already the effort? This one, yes, always brings fruits. The real question is, are you willing to strive, even when things seem difficult? When we talk about success, many think of stories of millionaires who apparently fell from parachute in a big prize or opportunity. It turns out that behind these stories, often there are years of hard work, dedication and focus on a clear goal. Luck does not choose who will be the favorite, but who is willing to sweat the shirt. Winners know that success does not come from a scam of luck, but from learning from errors and continually improving. Proof of this is that most successful millionaires do not depend on luck, but a focused work routine and daily habits that build wealth over time. They know that while others are waiting for the right moment, they are creating this moment with their own hands. The consistent effort is the true engine of success, and it can be much more powerful than any luck number. The point here is simple: stop relying on luck and start to really strive. Put what you have learned into practice, work every day toward your goals and never give up. The constant effort, combined with discipline and the correct mindset, is what will lead you to the top. After all, success is not luck, it is hard work and determination. Have you heard that money changes people? Well, this is not exactly true. Money doesn't change who you are, but amplifies who you already are. If you already have a generous mindset, wealth will only make you more generous. If you are selfish or vain, the fortune will enhance these qualities. What I mean is that money is just a tool. And how you use this tool will reflect on the impact you have on the world. Therefore, it is essential to understand that the more you attract, the more you become responsible for the impact of your actions. Money will not transform your character, it will amplify your intentions. So if you want to achieve more prosperity, it is essential that you begin to work your mindset and your values. When wealth comes into play, it can be a blessing or a curse, depending on who has it. Rich mentality people know this and use their money to create opportunities, help others, and generate a positive impact. They understand that money is a form of power, and like any power, should be used responsibly. On the other hand, those who seek money only by status or ego ends up getting lost on the way, and success becomes empty and without purpose. So, before focusing only on having more, ask yourself, who am I now, and who do I want to be when the money comes? Remember that while it can amplify the qualities that already exist in you, it is your character and your worldview that will dictate how you will use this wealth. Because, in the end, true wealth is how you impact the world around you. Have you noticed that generous people always seem to be surrounded by abundance? Generosity not only creates deep connections, but also attracts wealth in ways you may not even imagine. When you donate, share and help without expecting anything in return, the universe somehow responds positively. It seems even an invisible law: what you give, come back to you in multiplication. And this applies to your time and your money. Generosity does not only mean giving money. It is also how you share your knowledge, support, and positive energy. When you help others achieve your goals, you are somehow creating a prosperity flow that will inevitably benefit you. This energy of abundance, when cultivated genuinely, spreads and creates a cycle of mutual growth. And do you know what is most amazing? Generous people are the ones who most attract opportunities for themselves, whether in the form of new contacts, projects, or even an unexpected business opportunity. Now you may be wondering, but why is generosity so powerful? The answer is simple. When you act with an open heart, showing that your happiness and success don't just depend on you, but on collective well-being, you create a connection with the flow of abundance. And this flow does not stop expanding, because the universe responds positively to genuine actions. Remember, true wealth is not to accumulate for you, but in positively impacting others. Therefore, the next time you feel in doubt about sharing or help, think about it: generosity is not only an act of kindness, but also an intelligent strategy to attract more prosperity. The more you donate sincerely, the more you make room for wealth to reach you. And so you begin to realize that the path to true abundance is in the way you contribute to the world. Have you noticed how most successful people are surrounded by other successful people? This is not by chance. When you surround yourself with people with rich minds, people who think big, who seek to grow constantly, you create a growing environment. The energy you absorb from those around you directly influence your results. If you are constantly in an environment where scarcity and doubt predominate, it is difficult to prosper. The mentality of the people around you will shape your own mindset and the actions you take. It is no secret that the winners seek the company of other winners. They know that constant learning and exchange of ideas are crucial to success. This is because rich mentality people have a high behavioral pattern, and being close to them will force you to raise your own standard. Conversations revolve around growth, opportunities, investments, and how to improve everyone's lives. People with a poor mindset often talk about limitations and focus on problems instead of solutions. But how to surround yourself with the right people? The first step is to identify which characteristics you want in your relationships and then seek to be close to these people. Join events, groups, or communities that share the same goals as you. If you want to learn how to multiply your money, for example, get involved with people who are already doing this and have results to show. These environments will challenge you and boost you for more and more achievements. Remember, you are the average of the 5 people with whom you live the most. If you want success, surround yourself with people who have already achieved what you want. If you surround yourself with limited people, you will feel limited. But if you approach ambitious people, a prosperous mindset, wealth will begin to become a natural reality for you. Have you ever stopped to think that, ultimately, are you solely responsible for your life and your results? This includes your wealth. Many people prefer to blame external factors, such as government, economy, or even luck, by their financial state. But the truth is that your financial life depends solely on your decisions, your mindset and, of course, your ability to act. Taking total responsibility, this is the first step in creating the life of wealth and success you want so much. Responsibility is not only about what you do, but also about what you don't do. When you understand that your actions or lack of them have a direct impact on your results, it begins to change the way challenges view. If your business is not going well, if your bank account is not growing, the answer is not out of you. It's inside you, in the choices you made and the attitudes you have not taken. When you assume this responsibility, you end the excuses and start acting more assertively. The victim's mindset will not take you anywhere. When you are responsible, you empower yourself. You understand that even in the face of difficulties, the solution is always in your hands. You can learn, change and adapt. The power of transformation is in your hands, and this is what makes you uncontrollable. No external circumstance can stop someone who is determined to assume their responsibility and change their reality. So if you want to achieve true wealth, true financial freedom, stop waiting for something or someone to do it for you. Take the reins of your life and your fortune. Every action of yours, every decision, every choice has the power to change everything. Because in the end, your wealth begins when you decide to take responsibility for it. Now that you understand what really is needed to achieve wealth and success, the big question is, what are you going to do with all this knowledge? Are you ready to take full responsibility for your financial life and start taking the necessary actions? Because, in the end, what will determine your future is the attitude you decide to take today. Don't wait for a perfect moment. The moment is now. Remember that true wealth is not just about money, but about the impact you generate, the people you surround yourself and the mindset with which you face the challenges. The path to success is paved with effort, discipline and a constant search for evolution. So what are you waiting for to take the first step? If you are ready to change your life and achieve what you deserve, subscribe to the channel, activate notifications and follow our next videos. Let's go together on this journey towards true abundance.